There's lots of books of alternative history that say radical things, but most of them don't appear above the radar. This one did appear above the radar, and as a result, there was a concerted effort was made to discredit me, and that is a bit of a conspiracy. You know, when you have academics who write to the BBC and they say you must bring this man down. You know, when they actually say that, and the BBC makes a program which is designed to damage my reputation, and that program is then later found to have been unfair by the Broadcasting Standards Commission, something odd is going on here in this. Something a little bit to do with reality control is happening there.
And this is systemic because it doesn't stop with the BBC, other media sources. TED, you've had your ups and downs.
It's very weird with TED. I just find it very, very strange because I used to like the odd TED talk when I heard it, and you know, I thought, well, okay, ideas worth spreading. I can go with that, and some interesting discussions. And I think it's fairly well known. I do a TEDx event in January 2013. I'm there. Rupert Sheldrake is there. Yeah. Satish Kumar is there, a bunch of other people are there. We all give talks and they go up on the TED YouTube channel. And then 2 weeks later, TED removes my talk and it removes Rupert Sheldrake's talk. And well, naturally there's a fuss about this and people want to know why. And TED say, oh, well, because these were pseudo-scientific ideas. Well, they never justified or supported that. They accused us of representing ideas about consciousness which were not scientific. That's not the case at all. Rupert Sheldrake is a highly credentialed scientist. These ideas were scientific enough, but they were the kind of science that these people don't like. There's a certain faction in science which is called materialist reductionism, where everything is reduced to matter. So the idea that there could be anything to consciousness beyond the brain is anathema to such scientists. Those scientists believe that consciousness, they call it an epiphenomenon of brain activity. Okay, we have these big brains. We evolved them in order to survive in the jungle of survival of the fittest. And a kind of accidental byproduct of that, we got this thing called consciousness. Believe it or not, that is what people like Richard Dawkins actually believe. That consciousness is an accidental byproduct of brain activity. Rupert Sheldrake and I were suggesting that that's not the case, that it's much more mysterious than that. And that's why they took our talks offline. Not because they were unscientific, but because they challenged a dogma of a particular faction of science. And in fact, Rupert and I received huge support from many scientists after that who said that TED were way out of line to do this, and that the ideas that we were presenting were not unscientific. They were leading edge, but they were not unscientific. So in the end, TED were forced to put the talks back, not on their YouTube channel, but on their main site. They were forced to publish the reasons why they'd taken them offline. They were forced to cross all those reasons out, a very humiliating climb down for TED, and those are still left online with all their bogus reasons for removing the talks crossed out and our rebuttals placed there and the talks back online. So a few years later, in 2015, a TEDx organizer in Reading in England comes up to me and says, would I do a TED talk with him? TEDx event. And I said, well, you know, I've had a bit of trouble with TED in the past. And he said, yeah, but I like your subject and I want you to speak. And I'm an independent organizer and I want you to speak. So I said, okay, I'll do it. And I went and did it. And lo and behold, after 2 weeks, this time TED think they're getting smart. They realize they got a massive backlash from censoring me and taking me offline. So now they leave it online, but they stick a huge health warning on it, basically saying this is not politically correct. This is not sanctioned, authorized science. You know, and so the view of TED seems to be that actually its audience can't make up their own minds, that they're like children, that they're not capable of deciding for themselves, and that TED must curate and shepherd everything and to present them with the correct material for their minds. And to me, this is absolutely astonishing. It's astonishing that TED would, well, I'll not get involved with TED again. I thought I'd give them another chance. I thought they'd learned from the previous experience, but now I see that they haven't learned at all, and that there's no point whatsoever in using their platform.
Yeah.